Hey everybody, what do you say? Gannon here, JGA59. And yeah, I'd like to touch on a couple of things today, but I'd like to lead off with thanking my friend Mike, Mr. October, for he I was so impressed with he's nearing his completion of his 1966 top set. He only has four more cards to go. He just got an Art Mahaffey, so that brought him down to four more cards. I know he's got to get Bill Moose Scarin and a few others. But, I just think he's done an amazing job completing that set. And it inspired me, his doing that inspired me to take my 66 cards, 1966, and put them in a binder and start chipping away at the set. And when I told him that, he very graciously and kindly just sent me his doubles. He had about 40 doubles, and I was really able to use quite a number of them in the set that I'm working on. I mean, right away here, you know, he gave me this Chuck Schilling, and I'm just gonna thumb through it. I have light years to go before I complete this set, but. Yeah, he gave me some nice cards. We'll come up on them in a second. Yeah, this Jim Gentile. No, Jim Gentile. Jim Gentile. When I was a kid, I always used to think it was Jimmy Gentile. It was Jim Gentile. And, I should have written these down before I put them in the binder. But, yeah, he gave me, he gave me a really great, this is not the Don Mossi he gave me, but he gave me a really great one, in just as great condition as that. And, okay, I'm just going to take a minute to thumb through these. He gave me a Dom Demeter. And as you can see, I got a lot, but I've got a lot of holes in this set. Got a ways to go before I complete this thing. And I'm not going to spend very long thumbing through this. I'm not even going to go through the whole thing. Just show you kind of where I'm at with this set. I love to build sets. And I'm not, I don't go nuts when I approach a set. I just take my time. There are a lot of sets that I'm working on. And, yeah, I just take my time, If I get there, I get there. If I don't, I don't. But, yeah, he gave me this Frank Kreutzer. I think that's how you pronounce his name. Yeah, Dom Zani he gave me. He also gave me this Don Hefner. Shout out to Andy's Attic. Willie Stargell there. Don Hefner, he gave me that card. And yeah, so I've got quite a ways to go here, folks. Gave me the Charlie Lau, I know that. And the Howie Reid. So I really just want to thank you, Mike. You filled in a few holes here for me. And it just puts me that much closer to completing the set. Oh, I never saw this Eddie Stanky card before. Whoops. I hope I didn't. I never saw this Eddie Stanky card before. That's really cool. So I hope I didn't push the camera so we couldn't see the bottom of these cards. He gave me Dan Combs, Phil Ortega, Howie Reid. I just want to make sure we could see that. Shout out to my man TJ Mack. I know he's a big Ken Boyer fan. Yeah, the Charlie Lau. Just want to cover these again in case. All right, at any rate. So, hey, I just want to thank you, Mike. And in about 7 or 8 years, when I finally finish this thing, I'll do another video on the 66 set. All right. Okay, the next thing I'd like to feature is this 1960 World Series program. Of course, the 1960 World Series featured the Yankees and the Pirates, and it culminated in the dramatic ninth inning World Series. I'm sorry, the ninth inning home run at Forbes Field by Bill Mazeroski, and what an amazing World Series that was. And we just passed the anniversary of that home run. It was a few days ago. But this program, I picked it up off of eBay, and it's just in amazing shape. And if you open the thing up, you know, it shows the 1960 Yankee team. You can see Ryan Dern back there with the dark shades. And you got Gil McDougall, Moose Scarron. I think that's Jim Hegan. We got Yogi, Elston, Johnny Blanchard, Casey, Ralph Houck, Frankie Crosetti. I should know who that is. He kind of looks like Eddie Lopat. Was he the pitching coach then? Roger Maris, Mickey Mantle, Bob Cerv, Hector Lopez. I haven't gone over these. I'm doing this off the top of my head, folks. A couple guys I don't really recognize. But of course, you got Clete Boyer, Tony Kubek, Whitey Ford. Yeah. At any rate, let me thumb through this real quick just to give you an idea what it looks like from the inside. All right. Okay. A little too early for Calvert Reserve. Beech nut gum. That man on third will probably try and steal home. He left his beech nut gum in the dugout. Now we know why players back in the day often tried to steal home. And welcome to the 25th Yankee World Series. Oh, they give the names of the players right here. Old picture of Yankee Stadium, the great cathedral that they tore down. And you got your major league executives, the commissioner, the two league presidents, the Yankees official family. George Weiss was fired at the end of this series, as was Casey Stengel. There's Casey. Yeah, Jim Hegan. Yeah, I got that right. And Eddie Lopat. Yeah, okay. All right. Take a tip from Mick. Get Palmolive Rapid Shave. And different Yankees World Series highlights over the years. Okay, and then they're going to go feature the players. Okay, you got Yogi, Elston, and Johnny Blanchard doing the catching. Yeah, the Yankees pitching staff featured Bob Turley, Art Ditmar, Whitey Ford, Ralph Terry, and Jim Coates. Ralph Terry, unfortunately, was the one who bore the brunt of the Mazeroski home run. He's a little... Well, I don't know. Casey had been warming him up all game, and by the time we got out there, Ralph Terry said he was a little bit out of gas. Casey was kind of criticized a bit for how he handled his pitches during this World Series. He didn't even start Whitey Ford in Game 1, so that was a controversial move. I forget who he started. Easily looked up somewhere. And the Yankee roster. And here you can do the scoring. And here's the Pirates team. Yankees trounced the Pirates in so many games in this World Series. I mean, by unbelievable scores, but Pirates won the series. Then you got your outfielders, of course, Mickey Mantle, Bob Cerv, Roger Maris, Hector Lopez. Yeah, great infield here. You know, Bill Moose Skowron, Tony Kubek, Bobby Richardson, the great second baseman, was actually elected the series MVP. He had an amazing series. Even though the Yankees lost, he won the Most Valuable Player award for the 1960 World Series. Then Gil McDougald, that was his last year. He retired after the World Series. And Cleet Boyer, Dale Long, and Joe Demestri. He actually came in for Tony Kubek in the ninth inning after that grounder hit Tony Kubek in the Adam's apple. The Boyer brothers, Ken and Cleet. But, of course, Ken wasn't in the World Series. He was on the Cardinals. But Ken and Cleet faced off against each other in the 1964 World Series. All right, so this is just a beautiful program in beautiful condition. So they're going to go through the Pirates team. Danny Murtaugh was the manager. Yeah, Smokey Burgess. Al Smith hit a home run, I believe it was in the eighth inning. It was a 3-run home run to put the Pirates ahead in the eighth inning. They were ahead 9-7, but then the Yankees miraculously tied it up in the ninth to make it 9-9, and that came off of Mickey Mantle's incredible dive back to first base. Yogi Berra hit a ground ball to, was it Rocky Bridges, first baseman, and I think Gil McDougald was on third, and he scored. And Mantle was on his way to second, but he saw that, I don't know how, yeah, you got to see the clip. I'm going to go put the film clip on at the end of this. Okay, and you got the pictures, Vern Law, Bob Friend, Roy Face, Harvey Haddix, Wilmer Mizell. Okay. Hope I'm not going too fast, and I hope I'm not going too slow. Clem Labine. It's Labine, everybody, not Labine. Andy told me to say that because he's such a pronunciation Nazi, not a pronunciation Nazi. Only kidding, Andy. I'm the pronunciation Nazi. So you got Clem Labine, Joe Gibbon, Fred Green. Actually, I never heard of him. George DeWitt and Tom Chaney, two other guys I'm unfamiliar with. Then you got Bob Skinner, outfielders, the great Roberto Clemente, Bill Verdon. Later on went on to manage the Yankees for a while. Gino Cimoli and Joe Christopher. Dick Grote, Dick Stewart, Bill Mazeroski, the guy who, the man of the hour. And then Don Hoke, a nice third baseman. Played for the Dodgers and, Pirates, and I forget who he played it with afterward. And then Rocky Nelson. It wasn't Rocky Bridges. Rocky Nelson was the first baseman involved in that play with Mantle. Rocky Nelson. Dick Schofield and Gene Baker. Many of you might remember Gene Baker from his 1957 Topps card where they wrote his name Bakep. I believe also Gene Baker was actually the first African American to manage in a Major League Baseball game. Danny Murtaugh was thrown out, and he stepped in and took over the team for a few innings. Okay. Still too early for this stuff. It's only about 9 in the morning, so I just had some coffee. The Seagrams will have to wait. All right, so this was a shout out to Andy over at Andy's Attic. And again, I wanted to shout out and remember Mike for his generosity in gifting me the 1966 cards. So that's what I have for you today. Everybody have a great day, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Take care.